Hello and welcome back to Kitchen Tips with Spread Some Magic. Today we're continuing on with herbs. So my local grocery store carries frozen basil, parsley, cilantro, and dill in small blister packs. How do they stand up to fresh herbs? If they do, it's because there's stuff added to it. Skip this convenience product, but think about making your own. See? We also found those frozen herbs stabilized with water, soybean oil, starch, dextrose, and salt. No thanks. At the supermarket, packaged in a small ice cube tray-like containers. According to the label, 1 cube is equivalent to 1 teaspoon of fresh chopped herbs. We tried them in 6 applications. Other than marinara sauce, tasters overwhelmingly preferred fresh herbs to their frozen counterparts, and honestly, dry herbs would be better too. It is possible, however, to make decent homemade frozen herb cubes from parsley, sage, rosemary, or thyme. Place the chopped fresh herbs in an ice cube tray, cover them with water, and freeze. Then simply add the cubes to sauces, soups, or stews. I dry mine. What's the difference between the various types of parsley? We have strong feelings about this issue, but it really depends on the situation. Restaurants often favor curly parsley for chopping because its upright carrots and drier nature make the going easier. Weird sentence, but this ignores its inferior taste, and it's often used as a garnish. Flat leaf or Italian parsley, on the other hand, with its big green flavor, is an indispensable culinary herb. We prefer flat leaf parsley for its fresh, grassy presence and tender texture, and find curly leaf parsley to be bitter or tough. However, these differences are not as noticeable in heavily flavored dishes where you're only using a little bit of parsley, aka garnish. The moral of the story: if you're making a dish in which parsley gets star billing, go for flat leaf. However, if you're sprinkling a little parsley into stew or onto pasta, don't worry if you have the curly stuff on hand. When a recipe calls for mint, do they mean peppermint or spearmint? And it's planting season, and you'll find both in the stores. Can I use these two interchangeably? When you see mint in an ingredient list, it usually means spearmint, but if you buy mint at the supermarket, you'll probably be fine. It may sound rather simplistic, but when we call for mint as an ingredient, we are thinking of the fresh herb that is available in the grocery store, which is often labeled simply as mint. After doing a little research, we learned that supermarket mint in almost all cases is spearmint rather than peppermint. While peppermint certainly can be and sometimes is used in cooking, it is more commonly used as a flavoring or scent in commercial products. Everything from medicine to toothpaste to cigarettes. And there is a world of difference between the two types of mint. Visually, the differences are easier to spot. Peppermint leaves are a deeper green than spearmint leaves, and peppermint stalks are a darker brown. Use whatever you like. But yeah, it's usually spearmint, which makes me think of spearmint gum. Anyhow, thanks for joining me. Spread some magic wherever you are.